The PRSD scheme was introduced into our school last autumn. We initially looked at the particular scheme and decided that what we wanted to do was to make sure that the scheme complemented the work which we already did in our school. Larne High School has been an investor in people since 1997, and as such, professional staff development has been a very important part of our work. The PRSD scheme was an opportunity to complement this work. It added in to the staff development, of course, performance review. The performance review is something which naturally teachers were a little concerned about. But when we decided to plan for this, it was one of the issues that we considered very strongly. How could we introduce PRSD in a manner which would make teachers confident and understand the scheme as fully as possible? The first year was obviously a learning year, and because of that fact we made an early decision, and that was to take on 2 collective objectives. That was important for the staff. We believed that 2 collective objectives would do 2 things. First of all, it would make sure that everyone understood the scheme as much as possible. And secondly, we were trying to emphasise the importance of teamwork. The teamwork of pulling together to try and fulfil these 2 objectives. The second thing that we decided to do was that the 2 main reviewers would be the principal, myself, and the vice principal. When the scheme was first introduced in the spring, it didn't leave us a great deal of time to train reviewers to a level that we thought was important for the credibility and the confidence of the scheme. So, in order to maintain consistency and credibility, the principal and vice principal became the main reviewers. In the interview that you are about to see, I will be talking with the new head of the English department. This teacher has been in the school for 25 years and more, and is a very experienced member of staff, but has recently been appointed head of the English department. As such, the objectives which she selected, 3 objectives of course, are in line with the 2 collective objectives that I've already mentioned in terms of the school, and a third as far as her own professional development was concerned. So objective number 1 was obviously closely related to the school development plan. The school development plan now, for a number of years, has focused on literacy and numeracy. So one of the first things that we decided at the beginning of the school year is related to the school's work on baseline testing, also very closely aligned to numeracy and literacy. Every year for some years now, we have given children baseline tests, NFER tests, in English and in mathematics. We are then in a position to see what progress individual children make and classes make in a year. This is a very important part of our school evaluation process. In the case of the literacy scores and numeracy scores over the past number of years, we have been a little concerned that the big increases in performance that children were actually recording just a few years ago seem to be falling away. So, in August also, we had a Baker Day in relation to the NFER tests, and we were really trying to refocus the teachers' attention on these particular measures of children's performance. In this particular issue, the English department decided to set themselves significant targets in 2 important areas of literacy. First of all, the literacy scores are shown in a what we call a standardised score, which then we can judge to see how a child has performed one year on another. The first little measure, I suppose, is if children make normal progress, that is a +3 increase. If children make very good progress, that is a +10 increase. So for us, we set targets for the department, and indeed for the school, and indeed for each of the classes. So that helped form the basis of the second objective. The third objective, as I have already said, was related to professional development. Because Mrs. Armstrong is a new head of department, she, in her interview in the autumn, talked to me a little bit about the monitoring process which presently takes place in English at the past number of years. She had some concerns about that monitoring process, but equally she decided that it was important for her to research this, and she decided to go on some in-service courses provided by the North Eastern Educational Library Board on the whole area of monitoring the children's work. So the third objective was associated with professional development of the teacher in relation to the monitoring process and procedures that are presently in use in the English department. Obviously, as we now come to the interview, the teacher has already provided me with written evidence to support the different things that she has been doing. How has the schemes changed as a result of the use of mathematics? What have been the increases in the scores in literacy? And what benefit has the in-service course been in the work that she does as head of department? I have also had an opportunity to view the teacher in the classroom situation. The last opportunity was in May. So now we can go straight to the interview.